Everybody, it's Invictus. I'm another Eden Run here, the Binding of Isaac Victor Repentance series. Happy Friday, Mosh Pit. Oh my goodness, the Mosh Pit is absolutely on fire and crushing the like streak goal, as we're now already only 20 away from the next one, and it's not even been a week removed since we did the Ultimate Isaac tier list last weekend. So thank you very much, everyone. Seriously, everyone who's been participating in the algorithm questions, been liking the videos, it's been helping out so much, and I cannot thank you enough for that. It really does feel like we're hitting a new stride here in the Mosh Pit, and I hope that we can keep it going for a very long time. And speaking of hitting a stride, here's a nice screenshot of the day submitted here by Omega from Twitch TV, also known as Exclusive Nixian from the Sinvicta subreddit. Title Thread has been subbed since 2014 with you and a good friend, and that is absolutely incredible. Almost 9 years, November 21st, 2014. I don't even remember what I was doing back then. I think I was still playing Heroes of the Storm back then, and maybe even StarCraft. I know I wasn't playing, well, no, I had been playing Isaac. July 2nd, 2014 was when I started playing Isaac, so wow. And thank you very much. They also wrote a very nice note on that thread. I did read it. Thank you very much, Exclusive Nixian, and everyone who upvoted that one. I love seeing that kind of stuff. If you can beat that, then definitely let me know and post a screenshot on the subreddit. I'd love to see it. CJ is going to be 1 Lima, Quebec, Zulu, Lima, Golf, 7-6. We've got the Pact and Fate. Now, if you're wondering, hang on a second now, buddy. How come you got 2 of them Isaac items starting? Okay, Cletus? We'll try that again. Well, Cletus, the reason why we have 2 starting Isaac items is because we ended up getting Eden's Blessing yesterday. So that is where the second item comes from. The second item this time around being Fate. Then we also get Butt Bombs, which is good enough to give us it gives us 5 bombs. I'm fine with that. But it also, of course, gives us the AoE ability for our bombs to go off. So anytime that we do lay a bomb, regardless if there's an enemy around or not, it's going to do area-wide effect of damage to everything. So our shot speed's absolutely incredible. However, our tears rate's not bad. You would think that with Pact it would be a little bit higher. Oh, those wacky wild spikes. I am going to go over into the secret room, possibly even super secret room here. Oh, could have been there. We have the Bible as well as our starting active items. So, but yeah, with us having a starting item as the Pact, you would think that our tears rate would be a little bit better. We know that we're not on 1/2 heart right now, despite it being Curse of the Unknown, because essentially we would have there'd be a little pea puddle at the beginning of the door. Everyone pretty much knows this by now. But in case you happen to be new to Isaac, that was a risky dodge right there. Yeah, that's one thing that it's an indicator whenever you have. It's a good way to counter Curse of the Unknown. Let's put it that way. Wow, we've got a lot of HP, and I mean a lot of HP. I guess it's not that surprising considering that we started with the Pact, but still, that is a lot. No, we don't. Scatter bombs, thanks. Scatter bombs is just not a great item in my opinion. If you have explosion immunity, of course, then any explosion item is good. But it's not really worth. You know what? I can play this game too, game. I refuse to conform to your rocks and your tunnel vision. I don't know. Funnel. That's what I was trying to say. But yeah, I guess it's not really that surprising that we have so much HP thanks to starting with the Pact, but we still would have only had what? That would have been 2 red hearts. Yeah, we would have had only 2 red hearts, and then we were also given 2 soul hearts as well as our starting HP. So that's pretty awesome. I'll definitely take it. We could definitely have way worse items to start with. And then, of course, we also have Fate. Fate is kind of whatever. Fate can be okay. It's not as good as Incubus, but it's not a bad item necessarily. And it does also help us kind of double our damage a little bit in the sense that we're literally firing another tier. So I know that it's a little bit of a weird concept to say, because like when you hear someone say, "Oh, we've got double damage," it's like, well, no, we're not dealing 10.56 damage right now per shot. We're dealing 5.28 damage twice. That's double damage. So it's a little bit misleading on that. It is of course nice also having the Bible, because it's going to give us free mom kills and free heart kills. So yeah, I didn't mean to drop that, but made our choices in life now. Looking for secret rooms, looking for tinted rocks. I don't see any. These have been 2 huge maps, by the way. I just want to point that out. We've been getting a lot of large maps lately. I'm not sure why, but thankfully our DPS is high enough to where it's not really that much of a detriment. However, I don't want to see this trend happen. Like if we're gonna get these big maps, we better be getting some big time plays and big time items game, not this like whole like, you know, butt bombs and, you know, and the Bible thing. The Bible's not bad. I mean, one of the aspects that gets overlooked a lot and honestly kind of forgotten about is the fact that it gives you flying whenever you use it. So, you know, there's definitely way worse active items in the game for sure than the Bible. And then, you know, on top, you would think that like in a game, especially the way that Isaac sets itself up, you think that like the Bible would be the ultimate item. Like, oh my God, it just destroys everything. But then like, no, it's good. Don't get me wrong. It's good. Like it's nice to have flying and the free mom kills, but that's about it. I will take the nail. We could go for 2 or 3 for Bookworm, but that's kind of a steep price to pay in my opinion for the Book of Belial. But I am going to take the nail just because it does give us a nice little damage boost, but also gives us Stompy in case we do run out of bombs. And the biggest thing here, of course, is going to be the fact that it gives us a Soul Heart every time we use it, or at least half of a Soul Heart. I think it might be there. It's hard. It's judging, looking at the top right, like up here on the map, with that little blank space there. It's very difficult to say for sure that the secret room was going to be here, but I just had a gut feeling. So yeah, and then after seeing this room here, absolutely, you can see the arrow that the game is making in this room. If you don't see what I'm talking about, just look at this, like this being like the point of the arrow, and those two, well, until they got blown up, these two rocks over here, rock formations, kind of pointing this direction. You know, the arrow. That's what I like to call it. I know a lot of people like to make fun of me about it. You know what? Hey, as long as people remember it, that's the only thing I care about. I don't care how much they make fun of me about it. I'm just trying to help people learn how to play the game. That's all I'm doing. It was 7 cents here. I am going to go back and check out our, once again, not great shop. And we could go into the curse room. Not really feeling it, though. But at least we got the nail. The nail is going to give us an HP generator, a damage modifier, and that all-important Soul Heart. I will say my voice is feeling better today than it was yesterday. My voice was really, really tough. I know that we had a couple episodes this week of you know, my voice giving me a little bit of problems. It's because it was still pretty strained from the live stream. And then you got to remember that I also like record every single day, but also sometimes stream and talk during my normal life. I know, like the non-YouTube life. So it was getting a little bit hoarse there towards the end of yesterday, and I don't like cutting episodes short. But whenever I feel it's necessary, I will. Like, it's not worth me blowing out my vocal cords just because, like, we get a victory lap and get, like, you know, 10 more minutes of content from Isaac. It's not that important. I know that some people wouldn't care about that, but, you know, I gotta look out what's best for me. So, and thank you for those of you who do understand. There were a couple people who were like, I can't believe he's talking about his voice again. Okay, well, I mean, you know, hopefully one day you'll learn to care about other people. Yo, let's stop getting hit in this room. How about that? How about that be step one? All right? How about instead of caring about other people, let's stop taking damage in bad situations. You saw that we did lose movement speed whenever we used the nail here, but we do have the Stompy effect. So if you really wanted to push it and really wanted to maximize, like, min-max stuff, you could, in theory, be like, oh, I'm going to use it and stomp over every single rock in the room to look for a crawl space. If you want to do that or you feel that's necessary, definitely go for it. But unless if I do truly feel it's necessary, I'm not going to do it. Get quad shot here. And again, we talked about shot multipliers and damage multipliers. This is quad shot does. Of course, it does sort of lower your DPS a little bit in a sense that, like, you know, it's lowering. Hey, you want to not do that? It's lowering the amount of damage that we're doing per second. But if we hit with all 4 of the tiers, then it's actually increasing it by a substantial amount. And obviously, quad shot sets us up for a nice array of tier combinations. Wow, really? The secret is not there. That's a huge surprise, especially with it being adjacent to a challenger room. That's actually really, really surprising. So we get Mom's Key, of course, which is going to be a fantastic pickup for us. Still trying to make up the lost HP in that one in the turret room. You see how detrimental the movement speed down is, so you got to be really careful. You have to be expecting it. That's the thing I like about the nail is that you can, I mean, obviously you can control it whenever you want. You don't have to use the nail in a room if you don't want to or don't need to. I would recommend using it on every cooldown unless if you're right next to a boss room. That way you can not waste the damage up that you get from it. This is very helpful. But again, you do have to be, you have to be conscious of the fact that there is a speed down and it is dangerous. Especially if you're in a room that has a bunch of like bomb rocks or something like that, in like the Bombino room. Go clear one more room here, just so. Here's our super secret. Just so we can get the damage buff for the boss. That's gonna be very helpful again with quad shot. Now, what would be cool is if we actually had Fate getting quad shot as well. Then it would be Incubus, and then it would just be one of those repeating items, and that never happens in Isaac. I'd get some movement speed here as well. Wouldn't mind just a basic HP upgrade so we can get a little bit of a better option for our Devil Deal. Think about this long and hard, Judgment. We've got 3 bombs. One of them has your name on it. Feel me? Look, I warned the man. Hey. Gonna be Rag Mega. We get a Tears Up. We did not get the 45% devil upgrade or Devil Deal chance, which is fine. That's okay. We weren't expecting one anyway, but I'm happy for the speed upgrade. So talking about last Friday's, I'm off by 2 days. Last Friday's question here, which we asked, is this a combo that you've ever seen before? And that was on the episode of the strongest duo ever, where we had Dark Arts and Salvation. And that was a very amazing combo. So one of the most upvoted top comments was from Paradoxius Black, who also happens to be a member of the YouTube Mosh Pit as well as the Twitch Mosh Pit. They said it's not, though I've seen similar in terms of the Salvation Dark Arts combo. And yeah, I personally would have never thought about that combo, but I'm glad that we got it. I mean, it was one of those combos that like you just never even realized existed until it existed, right? And it was a lot of fun, really, really strong. And now, like, I actively look for that combo now with Dark Arts. Like, give me Salvation, give me Dark Arts. It was so strong. I mean, we even went so far as to, I believe in that episode anyway, we went so far as to do the Sacrificial Room skip and go straight to Lamb just because I was so confident in our ability to fight him, and we did, and we ended up beating him too. So another upvoted comment there from, I'm going to say Kamakiri's Bean, or Kamakiri is a bean. There you go. They said, Kamakiri is a bean. I'm trying to read but also play Isaac at the same time. They said, never have I ever seen anything like this. And then they put a yellow W there, which I think is supposed to be a heavy metal salute. And if it's not, then I'm just going to assume it is, but hopefully it doesn't mean anything bad. And yeah, I mean, that echoes a lot of things that people were saying in the comments as well. Is that it's a combo that they have never really truly experienced or seen before, and now it's like it's just one of those things. It's like, man, it's great to see that we have we've got ourselves another avenue of like possibilities when it comes to Dark Arts, because Dark Arts is not all that great in terms of like interacting with things. Like it's a largely forgettable spacebar item that you normally wouldn't even really consider to be like something that you keep over, like, say, Shoop da Whoop or Sharp Straw or Fortune Cookie or anything like that. But now that this combo has been found with the Salvation combo, it's kind of like Dark Arts got some good synergies. You know, like it's one of those things I'm looking forward to. We should go and get a full charge for the boss. Again, we want to try to get that damage upgrade, but also we want to try to give ourselves another soul heart here. I am going to go in the big room just because it's going to be probably faster, and we're probably going to have to go over here anyway. And I loved the thumbnail as well from Alex. That was one of his, in my opinion, one of the more artistic and poster-esque thumbnails that he's done. So, and that was one thing that I'm going to consider talking about with him, making the artwork sort of like standalone artwork that we could get some more support, some more financial support for him, and maybe, I don't know, sell him as prints, or maybe like do like a bulk download thing on the Patreon. So it would be something like that, and of course the money would go to him because it's his artwork. I mean, I did commission it, but I like to help out the artist as well, and I think that's only fair. So if that's something that y'all will be interested in, let me know. I'm going to talk with him about it, just because the artwork that he does is just so phenomenal, and already so iconic. Like, he's made some incredible artwork pieces, and he's truly a talented artist. I am going to take Rotten Baby here, and Lusty Blood and Guppy's Collar are both on the menu. And we're just going to take both of them. So that Lusty Blood's going to be good for our dips, man. Got to get some dips. And finally, the last of the top of the upvoted comments on last week's algorithm question was sent in by Joe Ken. They said, never have seen it before, but got the meme done and posted on the subreddit before the episode was even over. And that is, I mean, when a combo becomes instant meme status on Reddit, that's good. I mean, like, that is, it gets the word out, and also lets people know, like, hey, like, this is a great showing, a great demonstration of what this combo can do. And I appreciate everyone doing that as well. This Invicta subreddit is, I think we're like over 23,000 strong now. It's pretty incredible. Okay, this has to stop. We are taking way too much strafing damage here, and we can't even blame it really on movement speed. But this bad damage has got to stop. It has reached untenable levels here. And we got this Forget Me Now, which is interesting because if we move fast enough and assume that we go in the right direction, we could get 2 boss rushes out of this, in theory. But that would require us going in the right direction and also making boss rush not once but twice. So if we're going to do that, we need to commit to it now. And that requires us going in, like I said, the right direction here for this floor and the next floor, and then also doing it again. So whether or not that's going to happen or not, I don't know. We do have enough for Dreamcatcher, however. But if we give up the nail is security. The nail gets us a little bit more survivability. And I don't know if that's worth sacrificing for the very off chance of us getting 2 boss rushes. We may not even get 1 boss rush right now. So, and certainly fighting Black War is not going to help us out, because all he's going to do is just drop us another ball of bandages, and that's it. And that's not conducive of what we want, but with what we want, I should say. There is value built into Forget Me Now and getting a boss rush and then just doing the floor again. Is it better value than what the nail offers? I guess that's remained to be seen. I do want to go get Dreamcatcher real quick, however, because that is going to at least give us that half heart that we lost back. And yeah, let's see this High Priestess. Okay, High Priestess is not really going to be that useful for us, but this would be a long shot of all long shots here. If we actually can pull this off, this is going to be an incredible move. But we really gotta get a move on. I know people don't like the hurried pace, but there's a reason this time. I believe that is Isaac's heart. That was not Candy Heart, I think. It's hard to tell sometimes with Dreamcatcher. So even if it's Candy Heart, it's not really that important to me. So we know through Dreamcatcher that saves us a little bit of time that we don't have to go and spend by going into our item room. We don't even have to look for the Fool card necessarily. All we have to do here is just simply find Mom, beat her, and then use Forget Me Now. Having to get close range again. I'm trying to maximize the amount of shots that we can to hit with quad shot. This is what we can't do. We can't go into a dead end right now. Yeah, remember that whole thing when I said like we can't go into a dead end right now? This would be dead end number 2 here, game. I'm gonna go into the shop really quickly here, and there's Hive Mind. And a Sun card. Okay. Now, we could use the Sun card now. I'm going to, because I think that that's more important that we find where the boss is now instead of looking for it on the next floor. We skip this room. So we're guaranteed to get Boss Rush 1 here. Boss Rush number 2 is going to be... Boss Rush 2 is going to be the kicker. The real kicker in the pants. Very clean boss fight there. I'm going to take the negative. There's a Tender Rock. We failed the 68%. And I'll take Bloody Gust. We'll do it again. So now what happens is we got to do that over again. And this is where not having the Sun card is going to kind of hurt. Ooh, Jawbreaker's not bad. Take Jawbreaker. Of course, we are incentivized to open up chests here thanks to us having Mom's key. Just got, I mean, it didn't give us Latchkey, but we got Latchkey out of there, which is great. And once again, we've gone in the wrong room. We got into this room for the second time in a row, and we ended up just beating the room anyway because that. We don't have time for this. And we've gone in the wrong direction again. How does he do it? How does he do it? Now we're out of bombs, and we're not making the second boss rush. But at least we got, I mean, the only way that this works out in our favor is if we get the Devil Deal here, and it's great. The way that this was just a big waste of time is if we, A, miss boss rush, and B, our item room is also not worth it, and C, we don't get the Devil Deal. So there's lots of ways that this could turn still in our favor, but the only way that it goes down the worst possible way is if we don't get a Devil Deal, we don't get anything usable in the item room, and then we also don't make boss rush. And it's Krampus. But now we kind of hope that we don't get a Devil Deal. Olympic Coal is huge, however. The reason why we're hoping that we don't get a Devil Deal is because now we know that this Krampus, we don't need to pass that 100%. We don't need to pass 68%. We'd rather our next floor be 100% for our Devil Deal. And that would only happen if and only if we don't get the Devil Deal on this floor. So the second boss rush is not going to happen. It's okay. I'm fine with it, with the way that it happened. At least we had a second chance to get something in the Devil Deal. You know, we don't know what's in the item room because I skipped the Dreamcatcher animation just because I was so excited to try to get to boss rush. But it was still a good play. Now, whether or not it's going to be the best play long term, it still remains to be seen, because we don't know if the value that we got out of Forget Me Now is going to exceed or at least equal the value that we would have had with a nail. Room's there, but we don't have any more bombs. Habit, which is completely useless right now for us because we don't have an active item. All right. So let's go all the way back up here now that we've done our clown show routine and found the entire map before finding the item. These are some leaps and stretches you're making here, game. Super Secret Room is probably there, but we'll never find out. Okay, so we don't want to get our Devil Deal here. It is in our best interest to not get the Devil Deal here. I am happy that we got an Ace of Hearts, though, because that gives us a chance anyway to get some of those Soul Hearts back that we have been rushing this level through and then losing. And we didn't, so that's good. That actually worked out fairly well. I know. Thinking like, hang on a second. How come you can say that was good? You always complain about missing Devil Deals. Well, Cletus, if you look at our Devil Deal indicator right there, we are now sitting at 100%. Had we gotten that Krampus fight, which, by the way, as a reminder, we already knew was going to be a Krampus fight, that would have dropped back down to 33%, and we don't want that. I would much rather get 100% Devil Deal for something that may help us versus, like, you know, a Devil Deal that we already know has either helped us or hurt us. In this case, not Head of Krampus, but Krampus did help us out by giving us of a coal, which is good. It's very good, especially for quad shot. And, you know, if the Jawbreaker procs, it's a lot more damage as well that we're able to get out of there. What I'm really hoping to see on this floor is it's the room that has a bunch of those flies and the red poop everywhere, so we can turn them into hearts and then possibly just get just an absolute sheer butt ton of HP. Because that's what we need right now. Remember, we gave up an HP generator to make the Forget Me Now possible. So we need to and want to get as much value as possible. That's huge. 3 soul hearts, thank you to Blue Larry, as well as that red chest. And that pretty much undoes all of the damage that we took in that last floor. And here's the northwest side of the map, everybody. You've all seen it. Let's go check out the south side. One bomb for a half heart is honestly not good. I'd rather use that for either the secret room or Tinted Rock. So yeah, there's the rest of the map, everybody. Now we can go down to the real side of the map. Now let's hear it for the real comptroller. Idiot. I almost used the Ace of Hearts in here, then I realized we didn't. That's a big waste. We should wait until we either get into a room that's filled with a bunch of mobs or a room that's annoying or dangerous to. Watch out, really helping us out here. We get the Cancer Trinket, which is going to also help us out with EPS. Speaking of largely annoying rooms. You rotten, baby. All right. We'll check out over here. I feel like I can't be the only one noticing that the last couple of days have been just filled with massive maps. Am I the only one noticing that? We've just either that or it's just been like the product of confirmation bias due to the Curse of Sinvicta mapping. It just feels like to me that we've been getting absolutely massive sized maps lately. Like even like going back all the way to like Basement 1. So this should give us more. No, give us range. It'll give us tears. And money equals power. Yeah. Gots to. But we need to get some of this HP back. The thing we also got to be careful of is going to be lack of HP here, and unfortunately we got nothing but red hearts. I was really hoping that we're going to get like 1 or 2 soul hearts out of that. The Eternal Heart is actually kind of detrimental because remember we've got the Polaroid and the negative, which is not something that you see that's not something you see on the first lap that often, and it's because of the Forget Me Now play. There's the east side of the map, everyone. Let's go take our journey to the south side now. We explore this ever-expanding world of the Binding of Isaac. We're kind of missing having the Bible. Now remember, we got money equals power, so every single cent that we get is going to just increase our damage. But every time we lose a cent, it's also going to decrease our damage. So, but if we take damage, we're also going to gain damage by way of, well, I mean damage per second anyway, by way of Bloody Gust and Lusty Blood. Or not Lusty Blood, sorry, Bloody Gust. It also, of course, is going to increase our tears rate and movement speed. The Golden Heart. I mean, again, if we take damage, that's going to give us some. It's going to give us some more money, which is going to increase our damage a lot. So, don't know where our secret room is. Honestly, I don't care. There's a little cheap shot there on Mom's Heart as we were walking by. And here we're just going to try to range. You want to try to stay at max range as possible on Mom's Heart. Especially with us having a lump of coal. But we did not get a devil deal. I'm not feeling Hushy right now, especially with the amount of HP that we have. If we had Polaroid invincibility, that would be fine. But remember, we got that Eternal Heart, so I'm gonna skip it. Another argument to be made there is the fact that if we had gone to go fight Hush and gone to check out Hush's shop, remember that's extra damage that we're losing because we're spending money. And right now we don't really have a lot of money to we don't have a lot of stats to be giving up, especially for very little, if not any gain. And fighting Hush is almost always going to be a net negative, almost always. Wouldn't mind a few extra bombs here from Wrath. Well, get our first active item in quite a while. We get Boom. I mean, you know, Boom's whatever. Mr. Boom's going to give us a Mega Troll Bomb, or a Mega Bomb. Thank God it's not a Mega Troll Bomb. A Mega Bomb every time we use it. It's very good for doing stuff like this. There's 3 Super Sloths in here. No, it's two Super Sloths and 1 regular Sloth. It's a weird room. Power card. Throw that aside. You're wondering why our damage is fluctuating. Remember, that's from Lusty Blood. So anytime we kill an enemy, it's going to give us damage. Very good. It's very cool. I'm shocked that we didn't take damage in this room. Save your life, Judgment. Here's where Hive Mind is also really helping us out with Rotten Baby. Reaching targets that we normally wouldn't be able to safely get access to. And he's strong enough to be able to kill them too, which is that's so helpful. And again, if we speak about large freaking maps, look at the size of this map, dude. This is like a void-sized shoal. Like, it's been really odd how we've been somehow getting these hellaciously long maps. I'm not going to use Boom here, because we're going to save that for Stanley. Okay. I wish I had that kind of iframes in this game. What's that like, game? Please tell me. I'd love to know. Because Lord knows we don't have that kind of iframes. No, no, no. We used to, but not anymore. Validity, Hairball. Ouija board is Spectral Tears and also Tears Up, but we can't take both. Cannot take both Guppy's Hairball and Ouija board. We have more reasons to become Guppy than we do to get Spectral Tears. If we gain enough HP, we might come back and take Ouija board. The Luigi board. I know it's like a Ouija board or whatever, but I've always said Ouija board. Okay, so we did get a Soul Heart there, which is good. Sun card is definitely going to help us out with our victim navigation here. I don't feel overly confident right now, but I also don't feel too bad. Now, if we end up taking the Ouija board, then I'll start feeling a little bit more hesitant on saying that we're like, you know, we're kind of sorted on this room. I wouldn't say that. Speaking of nerfing stuff that doesn't need to be nerfed, how about that Diablo 4 patch? Yeah, yeah. Anyone still playing? No. No? Join the club? Yeah. Yeah. Yep. It is unfortunate what happened to Diablo 4. I mean, it's not unfortunate. They did it to themselves. But I went from being like, you know, less than a month removed from Diablo 4, just being like, you know, I still stand by what I said. Like, I still think it's the best Diablo ever made. But man, Blizzard it all over this Blizzard game. Like, they have messed with that game so much. I've never seen a game take so much from players and not give it back, not give them something back, any kind of compensation back. It's just take, and it's like, it's sad. It really is sad because I love the RPGs. Like, I love Diablo, and I love, you know, the whole universe there. But man, Blizzard really doesn't want you to play that game. I jokingly talked about how they obviously took a page out of the Book of Isaac when it comes to balancing without compensation, and it shows, because there's no fun to be had in that game anymore, that's for sure. Second seed, Quebec 3, Papa 0 is actually Q3PO. Huh. I don't think we've seen a 3PO seed before. Yankee 4, Victor Foxtrot. And that'll lead into today's algorithm question, everyone. Remember, the most upvoted replies will be read next week here on Friday. And it's quite simple. How do you feel about game developers balancing a largely single-player game? Or how do you feel about when game developers balance stuff and nerf things and then don't give any sort of compensation for them? It always seems to be take, and never like, you know, well, we're going to nerf this, but we're going to give you this sort of thing. Post them in the comments down below. What is your overall impression and take on game balances when it comes to nerfs? Do the developers, unless if something's game broken, you know, or game breaking, I should say, should the developers give some sort of compensatory measures to players? If it's a single player, offline, non-competitive game, should it be messed with at all? Post them in the comments down below. I'd love to see those. And again, I thank you all very much for all of the algorithm support in the comments of the day. It is the new like streak essentially, and it's really awesome to see people, you know, taking a liking to it, and it's been helping out a great deal. We have the Parasite, which of course is going to be great with quad shot. And yeah, it's Magic 8 Ball. We definitely could use a little bit more shot speed. We get a world card. Go back and re-roll Mr. Boom. We say thank you to Mr. Boom for all your troubles and trials and tribulations that we've been with us through. And yeah, you turned into the D10, which we do not care about. Although there is a small, very small constituent of people who do care about the D10, apparently. The comments on the tier list video are to be believed. Lots of people love the D10 for some odd reason. You can re-roll enemies. That's great. Pretty Pretty sure that our tiers rate is capped. So, okay. I don't really want Pluto. The thing about Pluto is that, like, yes, it's a massive tiers up for sure. Actually, no, we're not capped. We have Cancer. I forgot. I just don't like the size down. The size down is kind of annoying whenever you're trying to pick stuff up. Yes, you can walk through crevices and go through corners and stuff. That's all well and good, but like I enjoy being able to see where I am on the screen. And sometimes it's a minor gripe, right? This would be categorized as a Sinvicta gripe. But it is one of those things where I'm just like, Pluto, do I really need the tiers up to make it to where things on the ground are like a lot harder to pick up? That's the logic here. That's a level of logic we've reached now in Isaac. It's perfectly imitating life. Ugh, it's so far away. Can't I just get a remote? Can I just do this? That's where we've evolved to, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Steven is there, and Ouija board and Nail again. Welcome back, Nail. We'll take the mark. Gives Leviathan, and all right, fine. You can join us, little Steven, but there's nothing wrong with you. I just don't want to join. And Curse the XL. Also, apparently I got a mosquito bite on my face because it's kind of itching right now, and I'm just now like, I was kind of like idly brushing my finger like over my eye, and I felt like a little bump, and I'm like, not supposed to be there. And then it's a little bit like, I could tell that it's a little bit warm because it's a little bit inflamed. That's only one thing. It's an insect bite. Insect bike. They ride bikes. Those dang insects and their bikes. People wanted to update on little Sissy. She's there. Although I am starting to be concerned with other spiders that are showing up, giving her house calls and stuff. We haven't talked about visitation rights here. You're not supposed to be seeing little Sissy. I have forcibly removed more than a couple of her suitors. Because again, this is Sissy's corner. I'm not trying to breed spiders here. I don't want other spiders showing up and then like all of a sudden, like I've already got enough of them. Let's just say that I have evicted a few extra spiders from the corner, and I'm not too happy about it. She's not paying me extra rent for it. She has killed a couple of mosquitoes. I have found them in her web, and that's kind of neat. Still have not seen a wolf spider yet. From her destroying another one. It will forever be one of my biggest regrets that I didn't take a picture of that wolf spider a couple weeks ago that she killed. That would have been cool to show off. I didn't even like think about it. I was like, that is a huge spider, and I need it gone out of my hallway. Tammy's head. Gonna save the reroll for possibly boss items. Hoping that we get some more good tier effects here. I mean, spectral tears plus Jawbreaker plus the Parasite's pretty good. Oh, we want something fancy. Give us some piercing shots. We get another golden hollow, which is a little bit rare. I didn't mean to pick up Tropicamide, but we got it. Regular old HP upgrade, which turned into a range upgrade, which I will take. We could clear for another full clear to reroll Tammy's head, but meh. That was hurt so good in our item room. Oh my goodness, there's 3 items in here. Now we could have, in theory, re-rolled all of those with the D6, and maybe should have considered it, but like that's too many free items just to pass up. We'll end up getting See, now you goofed, game. Now you done goofed, because now you gave us a reroll target inside of our secret room, and that ain't it, Chief. So we'll take it Hurts. Hurts is going to give us a tears up every single time we take damage. We get Black Candida. It gives us that oh so sweet curse immunity. Wow. 4 delayed hands. You don't see that very often. Okay, so we're going to use pretty much all of our rerolls exclusively on the secret room. That ain't it either, Chief. If it was a key beggar in there, that would be one thing, but no. That item right there is the reason why we so long ago came up with the we don't take blind items prerogative. Gonna get Bookworm here as well, which is very nice. So wow, we've had a lot of reroll pedestals. We've had like 10 reroll pedestals on this floor. If we include the mob trap room and the item room, the library, secret room, that's a lot. Gosh, our shot speed is making the game do some wild things here. We don't even have Guppy yet. Hopefully we will get Guppy, but this is great because it gives us even more ability to profit from taking damage. Now we have Bloody Gust, and we also have It Hurts. So whenever we take damage, we're going to be just dishing out even more damage. And normally I'd be re-rolling on the library, but not this time. Again, we have a secret room. We have a secret room pedestal. There's only one choice here. It's to go for broke. But chamber is not good. It's not bad, especially if you're taking pills, but it's not what I want here. Like, do we need Echo Chamber? No, we don't need Echo Chamber. I'd rather get something a little bit more juicier, something a little sexier. Let's get a premier high quality item. Kind of wish that we had Nun's Habit now, but Blue Cap, which is going to give us a HP upgrade, and we get Athame. Oh man, oh mama. Go back. We'll take Echo Chamber. There's no reason for us to, but there's no reason for us not to. It's just not like it's not the premier item that we were really truly hoping for out of the secret room pool, which to be fair is always a long shot anyway. But that one time where you get Sausage or Death Certificate is just the sweetest. That was a little Gish, and I believe the Scissors. Either one of those are items that we caring about, but it's a double reroll pedestal, so they're looking for Guppy, and it's not going to happen in this room. Fame, of course, enjoying a very, very high ranking on the Ultimate Isaac Items Tier List 2023 edition. And, there wasn't too much debating about that. Wow, we get another chance for a secret room item pedestal here. With the mystery gift. Okay, so that's a full charge in there, so we don't want to use that right now. There's our Fool card, which I am going to take now. And bombing our way through these levels these floors, bombing our way through these rooms that we don't need to be in, it helps out and preserves the charges that we could get with the D6. Lots of money, lots of bombs floating everywhere. And almost maxed out our damage bonus from money equals power. Devil Deal again, and we'll just take the negative again just for more damage, I guess. It's not a lot of damage, but, you know, it's whatever. And speaking of whatever, wow. This might be the most pathetic boss rush I've ever seen. It's so bad, I'm not even going to waste a reroll on it. That's trash right there. Boss rush, everybody. You know, making a case that we put too much emphasis on boss rush for basically no good reason, and that right there is one of those times, you know. That might be the worst boss rush I've ever seen. Robo Baby 2.0, which is not a bad item, but Papa Fly and Robo Baby 2.0 for a boss rush? Yeah. Looking for a secret room. I'm not sure where it is. It is not in a usual spot. We tried there? Did not. This one's a bit of a noodle scratcher. I don't know if we tried there as well. Yeah, I just did. Literally just. Here, I guess. Okay. Okay, so we have two possible item pedestals here that we can re-roll through. We don't end up taking whatever we get from the mystery gift. Okay. Well, got some making up to do for the short episode, so we're gonna try to make it work. But now we need it. Now we need to get a sacrifice room, because again, the stopgap, the whole linchpin of doing an Omega run resides in beating Mega Satan, Mega Stanley. You have to get past that. You have to get past him to get to Delirium before you can even start thinking about an Omega run. So the goal now is for us to get a sacrifice room. Oh my god. Aim just went nuts here. For us to get an Omega run, and if you don't know what Omega run is, it's a term that I coined a few years ago now, where we do every single run or every single boss in the game, including all optional bosses, boss rush, and everything. Now, we don't have to worry about Hush or boss rush on this lap because we can just do it on the next lap. But right now, the goal is simply to beat Mega Satan and then get the Delirium portal to show up. And we can't fight Mega Satan unless we get Dad's Key or we get the golden key from the angel statues, which right now what we're looking for is sacrifice room. And this is only Utero 1, so it is possible that we can still find one. Go back up over here. And nothing. Okay. Which is what I pretty much assumed that was. Alright, so that's the deal. Most likely there'll probably be a sacrifice room in the cathedral. That one bloat. And honestly, I'm a little bit surprised we haven't found any good tier effects. 75%, by the way. We haven't found any good tier effects yet to go along with this quad shot. I mean, Parasite's nice and all, but like I would have loved to have gotten piercing shots. I mean, we do have spectral tiers. And what we have isn't bad. It's just like where we are in this run right by now, we should be like just blowing the game away. Arcade that we don't care about. Remember, we put down the D6 for the R key, so Our key is a great item. We don't actually want to take, unless we get 9 lives, we don't actually want to take a devil deal because we're going to need this extra HP to use for the sacrifice room. Then hopefully we get the HP back. But if we get a sac room, then all bets are off because we're going to get both of the angel keys and possibly the HP back, and then we could, if we, in theory, we could teleport straight to the dark chest. Well, no, we shouldn't do that because we need to beat Blue Baby and Isaac first. Was that a double? That was a double spawn of Gurglings over there. Sometimes the yellow Gurglings do that. They'll spawn 2 of them instead of 1 in the same spot. I don't know why the game does that sometimes. Okay, so we didn't get a sacrifice room on this floor here. Magic Scab. So again, we don't have to fight Hush here. Duality. Duality won't really matter. We would have to actually go fight Lamb again for Duality to matter. And then do another victory lap, which would make us lose items. I'm going to bank on the game giving us a sacrifice room in the cathedral. That's what my hope is, anyway. Now, if we don't get a sac room here, then we're forced to... At that, I mean, it's pretty much GG at that point because even if we do see Dad's key, unless we see it in the chest, we're not going to be able to go into Mega Satan's room. So I'm banking on the game giving us a sacrificial room on this level. This is pretty much our last gasp here, other than us getting Dad's key in the chest, which is still possible. I mean, I'll do a full clear for it. Definitely possible. Super Envy being here is a bad sign because that's normally where a sacrifice room would be. So it's not a good thing. Go beat Isaac real quick. Truly, we're hoping that we get if it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be to the south. It's going to be down towards that big room. Yeah, there's a curse room. That's 2 special rooms now that have spawned. Which means that there's only 1 more left. It's either a challenge room or a sacrifice room in this. So not... I think it's actually worth it for us to at least go check in here. Hoping there's going to be a chest because obviously we're still trying to get Guppy. That would have been nice. And doubt there's going to be another room south of here. So not looking good, team. Now we still could R-key and get lucky and get another R-key, and then we would have to get another R-key because then we'd have to still go fight Mega Satan anyway. And yeah, it's challenging. Pretty much what I was already postulating. So now basically it comes down to us finding Dad's key in the chest. Or a get out of jail free card. Security, which is going to boost our damage, adrenaline. All right, so this is the last ditch effort here. Now another possibility other than that would be getting a wild card. A wild card would enable us to have 2 Arkeys, and that in theory should still be enough. But it still doesn't change the fact that you still have to get past the Mega Satan block. Now you could, one thing that we've done before is kind of cheese the Mega Satan. If we get a Delirium Portal after Blue Baby, we can teleport out right before the death animation of Mega Satan concludes. But I prefer to not do that if I can help it. I think that it really only truly counts as if you do it without cheesing the Mega Satan death animation. I mean, these rules are arbitrary. I mean, I'm the one who came up with it in the first place, so you can do whatever you want. But for me, it doesn't count as a true Omega run unless if you've gone through the death animation of Mega Satan and gotten the Delirium Portal to spawn there. If you teleport out early, it's kind of like, if you want to call that Omega run, then go for it. I'm not going to beat you up over it. In my mind, though, I would say that it has to be naturally spawning after Mega Satan. That's what a true Omega run is in my mind. So are we going to get there? Seraphim's going to give us conjoined. And we're running out of chests here. We've been getting a lot of chests, more often than usual in the chest here, despite us not having Guppy's tail. So the game's trying, but not giving us what we want here, game. Sale and a second money equals power. All right, so that didn't happen. We did not get access to the Mega Satan door. Unfortunately, we did not get a sacrifice room in the... No! I hit the space bar to skip the boss animation and it used Arky. Why did it hit twice? I only hit it once. Absolute disaster. Didn't that happen last time we had Arky? I was trying to hit the spacebar item and then something happened and we ended up using it. Wasn't I like wiping my my nose or my eye or something and then that happened? Here's our sacrifice room. So we can at least make this quick. Because we can get the sacrifice room payout and then just go straight to the chest and fight Megas and fight Lamb to see if we would have gotten past there, but the Arky's gone now, so. Okay, so we get Crown of Light and Holy Light. Man, this is a combo right here. I think we got to go Crown of Light just for the damage up. Go to cross. Seraphim transformation. Our HP back, okay. That would have worked out in our favor. Oh, we already have both key pieces there. That's right. We just beat Uriel and that other angel statue. So let's go see. The only way that I'll feel better about this is if we don't get a Delirium Portal here from Megastan Guppy. It's the only way I'll feel better about myself is if we don't get a Delirium Portal. Because then I'll feel justified in accidentally using Archie again and ruining the Omega chance. I mean, yes, theoretically, we could have done just a whole new run and tried to go for an Archie and stuff, but the odds of that happening are probably not all that great. So we can at least see whether or not we would have gotten a Delirium Portal after Mega Satan here. Guppy's doing so much damage. Now goes Megastan. And we would not have gotten it. So that makes me feel better. Thank you for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, the algorithm question of the day is going to be, how do you feel about game balancing when it comes to nerfs and buffs? Do you think that the game developers should give some kind of compensation in other ways, like better buffs for other items that are maybe not commonly used, or maybe make builds a little bit more viable whenever they nerf the strongest build? Post them in the comments down below. Remember, I'll be reading the top 3 upvoted. And thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, everyone. Have a great start to your new week here in the Mosh Pit. New weekend, I should say. And as always, I'll see you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. I'd like to thank the patrons of mine like Wyatt Sipes, Squeegee, and Chronic Shadow. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find over at patreon.com/Sinvicta.